Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started. So welcome to your NMOneSource 2.0 training webinar. My name is Emma Elliott. I'm the Director of Customer Success at Lexum, the company that has developed the Decisia and Query software behind NMOneSource 2.0. It's a real pleasure to be able to introduce you to New Mexico's new legal publishing platform. So thanks so much for being here. I will quickly mention that if ever while you're looking at the shared screen, you see a bit of a lag, do be assured that that's an issue with WebEx and not with NMOneSource.com. It's lightning fast, and hopefully you've had a chance to try it out already and to see that for yourselves. We're joined this morning by Brenda Costello, Executive Director of the New Mexico Compilation Commission. So hi, Brenda. It's so nice to have you with us this morning. There's some time reserved at the end of the training webinar for a live Q&A, so both Brenda and I will be able to answer your questions. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, you can also share your questions with us via the WebEx chat feature during the training webinar. And at any time after the training webinar, please feel free to submit your questions about the website to Lexum by email at nmonesource_support@lexum.com, and you'll find this email address via the Contact Us link in the NMOneSource 2.0 header. The objectives for today's webinar are to show you how easy it is to find content with NMOneSource 2.0 and to introduce you to some of the cool new features that you'll have access to. Before we get started, I want to bring to your attention the Search Laws page of the New Mexico Compilation Committee's new agency website that you can still access at nmcompcom.us. From here, you can access NMOneSource 2.0 via the View site link, as well as find a troubleshooting guide and training videos about NMOneSource 2.0. So you can access NMOneSource 2.0 via the habitual URL, nmonesource.com, and you can use that same URL on a mobile version simply by entering that URL onto your mobile device. So let's begin. Here we are on the shared screen. You can see the NMOneSource 2.0 homepage, which is powered by the Decisia software. And you'll use Decisia to search for documents in all of NMOneSource 2.0's databases, as well as browse, consult, and print out opinions. Now, before getting into the specifics of your content, I want to bring to your attention the two following things. First of all, the behavior you should expect when you're clicking on the different links you'll find on NMOneSource 2.0. So by default, links in NMOneSource 2.0 will open in the browser tab you're currently using when you click on them. So for example, if I click on the Help page, it doesn't open in a new browser tab. I remain in the same one. If you prefer to have a link open in a new browser tab, simply place your cursor over the tab, do a right click with your mouse, and then click on Open Link in New Tab. Secondly, if you prefer to use the default behavior and have your links open in the same tab, it's extremely easy with NMOneSource 2.0 to navigate back and forth between the different pages you're consulting. And you're going to see me do this repeatedly during the training webinar. So at all times, you can easily get back to the home page thanks to the home link that's always available in the header. And you'll also have a breadcrumb appear whenever you navigate away from the home page. You can also use your browser's back button to get to the page you've previously accessed, and you can use a simple click, or you can click and hold down the browser's back button, and then you can select one of many previous pages that will be displayed for you. Now, for the specifics of NMOneSource 2.0. So to know exactly what content you have access to, consult the Scope of Coverage page. Now, notice how the look of the interface has changed. This is because we're now in the Query Document Viewer. You're going to use the Document Viewer to print, browse, and search within statutes and court rules. What's particularly exciting with NMOneSource 2.0 is the inclusion of all types of court opinions. such as reported Supreme Court and Court of Appeals opinions from 1852, as well as slip opinions as of May 1. Let's head back to the home page. I could use Chrome's back button, but instead I'm going to use the home link in the header instead. Before discussing how content is organized on NMOneSource 2.0, let me introduce you to the quick search bar that you'll see on most NMOneSource 2.0 pages. This quick search bar is the fastest and easiest way of accessing content when you know the citation or the exact title of the opinion, statute, or rule that you're looking for. So for example, if you're interested in Rule 11802 regarding the hearsay rule, you can simply type in 11802 and you'll have an autocomplete suggestion that will allow you to click and be directly brought to Rule Set 11 and scrolled to Section 11802. Also, if you don't know the exact section number, but you know that the title, as I said, was about the hearsay rule, you'll also get autocomplete suggestions from the title that will once again bring you back to the exact section that you're looking for. This also works with opinions. So for example, if I look for 2017 NMSC 027, I'll have an autocomplete suggestion that will bring me to the opinion I'm interested in. And this also works with case names and not just citations. So if I type in State versus Castro, I'll also get a list of suggestions, and amongst them will be the one that I'm interested in. So the content published on NMOneSource 2.0 is divided into two main databases: appellate court opinions and laws and court rules. This division is obvious in the ways that you can browse content, but also in the way that you can search for content in the advanced search. So you'll see specific search tabs for each of the databases. Each of these databases contains a variety of different collections. Within appellate court opinions, you'll find all types of court opinions divided into two collections: Supreme Court and Court of Appeals. When you browse either of these collections by date, by case name, by official citation or report citation, the types of opinion will be perfectly visible. It's possible to search for all or one type of opinion type via the advanced search. So for example, if I head into the Appellate Court Opinions search tab in the advanced search, and then I select Show More Fields, I can search for all reported opinions by choosing the corresponding opinion type and launching my search by either hitting on Enter or hitting the search button. Now I can see that there are 24,458 reported opinions within the Appellate Court Opinions database. I can refine my search further, for example, by saying that I want to find all reported opinions that involve a lumber company. And I'll relaunch my search. And now I can see that there are 62 opinions that meet this criteria. So by default, search results will be ordered by relevance, but I can also sort them by date, so from most recent to least recent. And with a single click, I can choose to display a collapsed view of my list. I can expand individual results to obtain more details, and then re-expand my full list once again. To print out my list of results, I'll want to use the print link that's displayed above the advanced search fields. And we do recommend that you always use this link as opposed to the print functionality that's provided to you via your browser. And speaking of browsers, please note that NMOneSource 2.0 is supported by the most recent versions of Chrome, Firefox, Safari Mobile, as well as Internet Explorer 11. And as a best practice, do keep your browser software up to date. Now, this bit of information is important. Search results are displayed on the advanced search page using what we call infinite scroll, meaning that not all of the search results are loaded by your web page at once. So by loading only 25 results at a time, it makes the page extremely fast and very smooth to scroll through. But one of the effects that this can have is that if you haven't loaded all of your search results yet, your printout will be incomplete. So for example, if I click on print, you can see here that I only have the first 25 results. Now, in practice, you likely won't encounter this issue because naturally you'll have scrolled through your results before printing them. But if ever it does happen, all you need to do is make sure to scroll through your results to load them all by the page. You can then come back up to your page, click on print, and now you're sure that you really have the full list of your search results. Excuse me, I'm just going to take a sip of water. Okay, so now let's head into an opinion to get to know the useful and easy features that you'll have access to. I'm going to use the second search field to search for the decision Faber versus King, and then I'm going to go ahead and choose the result from the autocomplete that I'm interested in. So at the top of every opinion, you'll see a gray metadata box. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the term metadata, it simply refers to a set of data that describes and gives information about other data. So in the context of an opinion, metadata refers to such information as the case name, the date, and the official citation that are associated to it. Thanks to this metadata, you can search the database more precisely and expect to see new case history alerts included in this gray metadata box moving forward. If you're looking to print out an opinion, you have two simple options. The first option is to download the PDF version, and this is a great choice if you want to consult the opinion offline later. Now, depending on your workstation setup, the PDF may download automatically, or it will open in a new browser tab, and you can then go ahead and download it onto your workstation. Now, I will mention that with some browsers, the digital signature and authentication seal will not display correctly when you're viewing the document. So for example, I'm going to head into Firefox. I'm going to go ahead and click on the download PDF version, and you'll see here that I don't see that signature and authentication seal. However, note that that's an issue with the browser itself and not with the authenticated PDF. So if you go ahead and open the PDF in your habitual PDF viewer after downloading it, you'll see that the seal is there. Let's head back to Chrome. Yes, I will close those. Perfect. So the second print option that you have is to once again use the print link. And this will print out the opinion's web page, meaning that the gray metadata box at the top of the opinion will also be included. Now, you can send this to your printer for immediate printing, or you can save it as a PDF onto your workstation and you can consult it later or print it at a later date as well. Within opinions, you'll also find citator links that are displayed in red, and these allow you to access cited references in a single click. Remember once again that you have two options when dealing with links in NMOneSource 2.0. First of all, if you click on the link directly, it will open the cited reference within the same tab, and then you can use your back button to get back to the opinion. Or you can use a right click and open the link in a new tab, and then you can toggle between the cited reference and the opinion that you were originally consulting. The counterpart to the citator links that are contained within the body of the opinion is the citation section that you can expand and collapse at the top of the opinion, excuse me. So this section conveniently contains links to all of the documents that are cited throughout the opinion. And you'll also notice that every document in this section has a cited by link. And these links will activate a search with NMOneSource 2.0's Note Up feature that we'll be discussing a little bit later. One of the coolest new features is the copy, paste, and hyperlinking feature. And to use this feature, for example, because I want to cite paragraph 3 of this opinion in a document I'm drafting, I simply need to click on the paragraph hyperlink of paragraph 3. The paragraph is automatically selected for me, which makes it very easy to copy and paste into a document. And the system also generates a citable reference for the paragraph. So to copy, you can either use a keyboard shortcut, Control-C, or I'm going to use my mouse to right-click and select copy. I'm going to head into the Word document that I'm drafting, and I'm going to go ahead and simply paste in the paragraph. I'm going to insert a footnote, and then I'll simply place my source reference in my footnote. And do know that because of the little hashtag paragraph 3 that you see at the end of the URL that the system generates for you, when people click on this link when they're reading your document at a later date, they'll be directly scrolled to that paragraph that you have cited within your document. Alrighty. Lastly, here you can see various NMOneSource.com options displayed below the citation section. So NMOneSource.com is a free online research workspace that lets me gather and share relevant legal information and create personalized alerts. So to begin using NMOneSource.com, I have to create a user account. So I'm going to click on the Browse feature here, and then I'm going to click on Create Account. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the registration form. Your password needs to contain at least one lowercase letter, one uppercase letter, and one digit. And I'm going to then go ahead and click on Register. So you'll get a confirmation telling you that you need to verify your email address in your email account. So I'm going to go ahead and open my email account. So I've already received my email. I'm going to go ahead and just click on the validation, the confirmation email. And I've been automatically logged into NMOneSource.com, and you can tell because now you can see my username displayed in the top left-hand corner of the page. And with this menu, I can either access the user interface or log out altogether. So, excuse me, because I found an opinion that I'm interested in, I can go ahead and save it to NMOneSource.com. So I'm simply going to click here on Save This Case, and I'm going to click on OK. Another option that's available to me with opinions is the possibility of emailing the case either to myself or to a colleague. So again, I'm just going to send myself an email here. And normally, in just a few moments, I've just refreshed, and here I've already received my email with a nice little message saying that Emma Elliott has shared Faber versus King. So if I go ahead and click on that link, it'll open the opinion for me. Okay. So now let's address the Laws and Court Rules database. I'm going to head back to the home page and scroll down to the database. Perfect. So within this database, you'll find 9 different collections: current and historical NMSA, current and historical NMRA, session laws, constitutions, and so on and so forth. Browsing a laws and court rules collection can be done by date or title, and most of the documents that you will have published within these collections will be viewable with the document viewer. So one of the easiest ways of accessing a statute when I know exactly what I'm looking for, Chapter 53, for example, is to enter the current NMSA collection. So I'm going to go and do that here. And then I'm going to use the pager to navigate the different chapters, and I'll simply scroll down to find the one of interest to me. Now, if I want a copy of the full chapter for offline consultation, I can simply click here on the PDF icon to download it. But if I want to conveniently browse, search, and print out specific sections of the statute, I'm going to want to open it in the document viewer, and I'll do so simply by clicking on the link. Now that I'm within the document viewer, I can drill down within the dynamic table of contents that also can be completely hidden by double-clicking, or I can, adjust the width that I'm interested in. And whenever you select a title from the table of contents, you'll see that you're automatically scrolled to that section within the right-hand content pane. And conversely, if you're in the right-hand content pane and you're scrolling through the content, you'll see that your table of contents is automatically updated. So at a glance, you always know exactly where you're situated within the document. It's important to note that whenever you select a new title from the table of contents, it's a new URL that's recorded in your browser. So if you want to get back to the original page you were on when you accessed the chapter, a single back click won't do. You really do need to hold down your back button and then select one of the options from the list provided, which will bring you back to where you started. Another great feature of the document viewer is the search bar. And the search bar allows me to search on the fly within a document. The search bar supports Boolean syntax, and it also allows me to easily search and find terms in each section of a document. Now, each document section corresponds to a table of contents section. So what this means is, for example, if I go to Article 5 and I select 53.5.1 from the table of contents, the document section for the purposes of the search tab is what I've highlighted here in yellow. In the same way, if I go to the annotations element, this will, what I've highlighted in yellow is what corresponds to the document section for the purposes of the search tab. Now, the search bar returns one search result for every document section that contains a match for the search terms that you're going to input. So when you're using this search bar, if I search for more than one word without any Boolean operators, it will behave in the same way as if I were searching with the OR operator. So in other words, if I'm interested in sale of assets and I search for the words sale of assets, this is the exact same search as if I did a search for sale or assets. Now, these 90 search results are indicating that 90 document sections contain either the word sale or the word assets. Each search result clearly indicates the title of the document section where the search term was found, and it also provides a contextual search snippet. You can scroll through your results in the search tab, and by default, they'll be sorted by relevance, but you can also ask that they be sorted by document order. Now, it's easy to continue refining your search results. If I replace OR by AND, I'm going to expect to get fewer results because I'm asking the search engine to return only those documents that contain both the terms sale and assets. So, as expected, I've gone from 90 document sections containing the terms to 19. The search bar also lets you use 3 different proximity operators that make it possible to search for words and expressions that can be found in the same paragraph, the same sentence, or that are separated by a given number of words. These operators are /p, /s, or /n for n number of words, respectively. So if I go back to my sale of assets example, if I replace AND by /p, I once again expect to get fewer results because now I'm asking the search engine to find every document section that contains the terms sale and assets within 5 words of each other. So as expected, I've gone from 19 to 11 results. When I select a search result from the left-hand pane, I'm automatically scrolled to the corresponding document section, and the search terms are highlighted to be highly visible. Now, once I have successfully located the content that I'm interested in, there are a variety of different ways to use it. So first of all, I can cite the content by using the hyperlink icon. So for example, if once again I'm drafting a document and I want to cite section 53.15.2, I can go ahead and click on the hyperlink icon, and the system will generate a citable reference. Once again, I can use my mouse to do a right click to copy, or I can use a keyboard shortcut. And I'm going to head into the document I'm drafting and once again insert a footnote. And then what I can do here is copy the URL, and I'm going to embed it into my document. To do so, I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to say Hyperlink, and I'm going to paste in the URL. So now, moving forward, anyone who will be reading your document can simply go ahead and click on this link, and they will be automatically scrolled to the section that you've cited in your document. As with opinions, you'll also find a variety of citator links displayed in red that will allow you to easily access cited content. And you also have a variety of different ways of printing via the print tab, the print menu, excuse me. So first of all, you can download the PDF or the EPUB versions of the full document for easy offline access. And you can also print an entire document or a single table of content element via your browser. And I can also print out a pamphlet that doesn't contain any annotations with the print multiple items from table of content option. So I'm going to go ahead and select this option, and you'll see here that you now have a check mark that indicates that it's activated. And if you head to the table of contents, you'll now see that there's a new menu that's appeared, and there are check boxes that appear next to all of the different table of content items. So let's say I want to make a pamphlet for Article 15. I'm going to go ahead and click on select the checkbox next to Article 15, and you'll see that by default, all of the child elements are also selected. So in this case, because I don't want annotations included, I'm simply going to go ahead and deactivate them. And then I'm going to go ahead and select Print Selected. So you'll see that the system has generated for you a printout that contains only the statute text. And once again, you can send to your browser to print out immediately, or you can save as PDF, which will save onto your workstation and that you can consult later or print later as well. Finally, the last thing I can do, I'm just going to go ahead and deactivate this, there we go, is that I can add my own personal notes thanks to the Notes feature. Now, I'm being prompted here to sign into the system, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Sign In because I will use the same user account that I used for NMOneSource.com to use the Notes functionality in the document reader. And you'll see here that I haven't actually had to log into the system. It's simply the browser that didn't realize who I was. And once I go to click on Sign In, because I've logged into NMOneSource.com already, now you can see here in the drop-down menu once again, I'm already logged into the system. So I'm going to head back to Article 15.2, which is the section that was of interest to me. And I'm going to go ahead and, select a portion of the content that I want to annotate. And you'll see that there's a little widget here that appears. So you have the possibility of adding, highlighting the content. You can also add a comment, or you can embed a hyperlink. So I'm going to go ahead and simply choose to highlight. Now, no matter the option that you initially choose, you're going to have an entry that is created in the Notes tab. And then you can go ahead and select that entry and then click on Edit. And you can go ahead and modify whatever note you've made. So let's say I want to highlight in purple instead. I can also add a comment to this section. And I'm going to go ahead and save. You'll see here that my comment is now visible in the Notes tab. And do note that you can also search within your notes. So to be able to find annotations that you made at a past date. So to complete today's training, we're going to head to NMOneSource's advanced search functionality. And to do so, I'm going to use the home link, displayed in the top right-hand corner of the document viewer. Here we go. I'm going to head to the advanced search. All right. So, excuse me, I'm just taking another sip of water. The advanced search functionality is used for searching on one or more fields, as I did earlier for reported opinions involving a lumber company. The advanced search lets me search through tens of thousands of documents to locate all documents that meet my search criteria. The advanced search also supports Boolean syntax, and you can find more information about this on the help page. So for power users who are going to be doing very complex searches, do take a few moments before getting started to read up on all the details of the supported syntax and the additional Boolean operators that are at your disposal. But for those of you who do more basic searches, today's training webinar will have you well on your way. The one thing that I will draw your attention to is the default behavior of the advanced search when you're searching without any Boolean operators. So by default, when multiple search terms are not connected by any Boolean operators, the advanced search will retrieve documents containing all search terms. So in other words, an advanced search done without any Boolean operators will be like doing a search with the AND operator. Also, as well as the AND, OR, and proximity operators that we discussed earlier, the advanced search also supports searching for a group of words thanks to quotation marks, and it also allows searching for an exact phrase thanks to the exact operator. And we're going to test all of this out in a few moments. So there are three main search fields that apply to all NMOneSource 2.0 databases, and these fields will always be visible. When you're using the advanced search, you need to be mindful of what search tab you're in, as this is going to have an impact on what additional search fields are available to you, as well as what autocomplete suggestions are going to be provided. And you're also going to be mindful of what collection you're searching in, because this has a large impact on what you're going to find. Now, the first two search fields are both full text search fields, and the distinction between the two is that the first one searches within the body of all documents, including the annotations in the NMSA and NMRA, while the second search field only searches within document titles, case names, citations, and section numbers. The second search field, which offers autocomplete suggestions, is a concrete example of how metadata can improve searching. If I know an opinion's official citation, or if I know the exact chapter I'm interested in, I'll get much better results by using the second search field. So for example, if I search for, let me head into the Laws and Court Rules database, I'm going to search for Chapter 6 and launch my search. And now I'm searching in the full text search field that searches within the body of the opinions. And I'm getting a lot of results. And this makes total sense because what I've asked the search engine is return to me all documents that include in its body the term chapter and the term 6. Now, on the other hand, if I search for Chapter 6 in the second search field, first of all, I get autocomplete suggestions that if I select will bring me directly to the chapter. And if I do a search, I now end up getting many fewer results. So I'm only getting those documents that contain chapter, the terms chapter and 6 within their case name, their official citation, and so on. Now, this precision, is important. Note that if ever you're trying to access a specific NMSA section or a specific NMRA rule with using the second search field, you need to use the autocomplete suggestion provided, because doing a search will give you 0 results. So for example, to go back to the sale of assets example we were using, if I'm interested in finding 5315.2, I really want to go ahead and click on this autocomplete suggestion, which will scroll me to the section in the chapter. If I do a search, I'll end up getting 0 results. Okay, so let's say I'm going to head into the Appellate Court Opinions database search tab. Let's say I'm interested in estate planning and probate proceedings. So I'm going to go ahead and do a search with the terms probate planning and estate planning and probate proceedings. Here we go. And I'm going to launch my search. So as I search through estate planning, I have not spelled planning correctly. That will do it for me. Here we go. Okay, that makes more sense. So now that I've launched my search with the correct search terms, I can scroll through the results, and you can see here that I have contextual search snippets that will highlight for me the search terms and the section that the search hit is coming from. And I can also enter an opinion, and I can use the highlight functionality displayed at the top of the page to navigate all of the different search hits within the opinion. And what I'm seeing here is that I'm not really finding the expression estate planning and probate proceedings. I'm really finding the terms stand alone throughout the document. And this is to be expected because I haven't specified to the search engine, thanks to quotation marks, that I want to search for the expressions estate planning and probate proceedings. So I've gone ahead and added my quotation marks, and I'm going to relaunch my search. Now, again, if I take a look at my search snippets, I can see now that I'm only getting the expressions, estate planning and probate proceedings. However, I'm getting variations. I'm getting estate plan, I'm getting probate proceedings, singular and plural. And again, this is expected behavior because the system is doing what we call stemming. So stemming is the practice of returning search hits for the exact search term you've input, but also expected variations such as plurals. So if ever I want to deactivate the stemming, I can do so, and that's by using the exact Boolean operator. So now I'm going to tell the system, not only do I want to find the expressions estate planning and probate proceedings, I want to find the exact expressions with no variations. So I'm going to go ahead and relaunch my search. And now you can see that I'm getting 4 results that really only contain both of those exact expressions. Now, just as a reminder, if I do the search with AND, I expect to get the same results. And on the other hand, if I search for OR, if I replace AND by OR, I expect to get many more results, because now I'm telling the search engine, find every document that contains either the exact expression estate planning or the exact expression probate proceedings. As expected, I now have many more search results. So let's talk again about my.nmonesource.com. So once again, under or above your search results, you see here a variety of different options provided to you. So because I'm interested in estate planning and probate proceedings, I'm likely to redo this search again. So thanks to my.nmonesource.com, I can click here on Save This Query, which will create an entry that will allow me to relaunch the search. Now, this system will propose a name for the query I'm saving, and this is personalizable, so you can go ahead and add in more information to help you recognize the search query at a later date. And you can also create a folder. So let's say here I want to create a folder for estate planning and probate proceedings. I can easily do so. So estate planning and probate. Here we go. So I'm going to create my folder on the fly. I will then tell the system I will select my folder and click on OK. And I can also add an annotation. So this is my habitual search for estate planning and probate proceedings. And I'm going to go ahead and save. Now that my search query has been saved, I can use the functionality run a saved query to go ahead and do just that. So I'm going to go ahead and reset the search so you can see that everything is wiped. And here I'm going to go and click on run a saved query. I'm going to go into my estate planning and probate proceedings folder. I will click on the search I've just saved. And now you can see that I've automatically launched my search. What's also really cool about the run saved query feature is that even if you haven't specifically saved the query, we keep a history of your recent queries. So you can find queries that you haven't necessarily saved. Another thing that you can do with a search query is to set up an alert feed. So let's say you want to be advised in the future whenever a new opinion matches the search query, this is how you'll do so. So I'm going to go ahead and click on set up alert feed. Once again, the system suggests a title that I'm just going to go and personalize. It's already in my estate planning and probate proceedings folder. And you can see here that you have the option of receiving your notifications either via the NMOneSource interface only, or you can also choose to receive them by email daily, at most and at most weekly. So now let's quickly head into the NMOneSource.com user interface just to see what we've accomplished so far. So I'm going to use the menu here and go to NMOneSource.com. So now that we're in the interface, we're on the home page, and you can see firstly the folder that I've created, and you can also see the decision that I saved earlier on, the opinion that I saved. Now, when I place my cursor on an entry, you'll see here on the right-hand side, all of the different options that are available become visible. So for example, I can move items from one folder to another. So here I'm going to move my opinion into the estate planning and probate proceedings folder, for example. Oh. There we go. And thanks to the option here, download list of authorities, I can generate a list of all the opinions that are contained within a folder. So in this case, I only have one opinion, favorite is king, but here is the list that has been automatically generated for me. And it contains, obviously, a link that will allow you to access the opinion. If I head into my folder, you'll recognize your saved query by the magnifying glass symbol, and you can easily relaunch it simply by clicking on the link and selecting Open Link in New Tab. So here we are, my search has been relaunched. And as for your alert, you'll recognize it thanks to the alarm clock symbol, and you can also access all of your alerts via the My Alerts tab. So when you select an alert, you'll be provided with a list of opinions that match the criteria, and then you can go ahead and decide to save them to NMOneSource.com. You can favorite them, mark them as read, or delete them. You also have access to the Recent History tab, which will let you see everything that you've accomplished on NMOneSource.com. And you can also access the My Profile tab where your settings are found. Let's head back to the website And we're going to complete today's training by discussing the NodeUp field. So the NodeUp field is the third search field that is always displayed, and what it allows you to do is to quickly access all of the documents citing a document of interest. So what you're going to want to do to use this field is input the case name, the title, the citation, or the file number of a document of interest. So I'm going to use Chapter 6 as my example. And then I'm going to select the correct autocomplete suggestion from the list provided. And I'm going to launch my search. Now, if ever you place your cursor back into the field, expect to see the text that you typed in earlier and not the title in bold that the system automatically inserts for you. Now, what this search is indicating is that there are 29 documents in the Appellate Court Opinions database that reference Chapter 6. And in the full database, there are 1,656. And in Laws and Court Rules, it's 1,627. You can also launch a NodeUp search thanks to the Cited By link that you'll see next to all of the entries. And once again, if ever you head into an opinion, here you'll see in the citation section, once again, the clickable links that will launch the NodeUp search. And for example, if I click here on the Cited By 22 documents for the tri-state generation opinion, what this search is returning is the list of documents that cite the tri-state opinion. So that, folks, concludes today's training webinar.